What's going on, everybody? Here for the third and final segment, because we all know, Mike, it's not how you start, it is how you finish.
Yes, going to finish strong.
Some of us might be falling across that finish line because our kids got us up at 4 a.m. Others of us will not be, right, Mike?
Yeah, some of us took a nap yesterday, so we're feeling pretty good.
That's the best. So guys, what we're going to cover in the next kind of 10, 15 minutes is we're going to cover that number one step, right? We so often hear and all the noise and all the things that you have out there. One of the things that I love, kind of shameless plug for Mike on One Rental at a Time, is he starts you at step one, surprisingly. And step one, believe it or not, is probably not what you think it is. And so I want to talk about that, Mike, really kind of talking about what that step one is and then how that matures into the rest of the process. So talk a little bit about that step one as far as you're concerned.
Yeah. So as I've evolved to really helping people, on the path to financial freedom or legacy wealth, I've experienced a couple of things. First off, financial freedom, legacy wealth, FIRE movement, all of those things are terms that get people excited.
Yeah.
Gives them that sugar high. Right? They look up at the top of the mountain and go, give me some of that, right? So I understand why there's a lot of talk about those things. Unfortunately, I believe step one is missing for most people. And it's because it's not as sexy. It's not as glamorous. But without step one, you can't go step two. So I believe this is the process, and we're going to talk about step one. I think it's a better financial future. The step one, right? You got to know where you are, better financial future, then financial freedom, then legacy wealth. I do believe there's a series there. You can't jump from where you are to legacy wealth without going through the first two. But people don't talk about a better financial future. And that is what I have spent the last 18 months really focused on. Because, when you get in this game, you think everybody wants financial freedom. And then you realize that people listen, but they don't take action. And that is a big waste of time for me, because I don't do this for lack of action. I'm trying to spark action in others.
That's right.
So it is. We have to get people thinking about, I want a better financial future. And here's the deal. If we realize that it is a journey, it is up a mountain, the path is there, but you still have to execute. Unless you know where you are, you're standing on the trailhead and you could tell me how much you make, what is your net, what is your disposable income, what's your monthly expenses, all of these kind of base factors. You're not allowed to start the journey, because you're going to fall off. You're going to die because you don't have water, whatever it is. So we are going to sit at the trailhead and we're going to talk about where you are today. How much do you make? How much do you take home? How much are your fixed expenses? Rent, car, insurance, food, entertainment, clothes, kids. We're going to have an honest discussion. And at the end of that discussion, we're going to have this little number that's left over that we all wish was bigger. I call it freedom dollars. You can call it disposable income if you want to search it on the internet. And that disposable income number I use as a ratio. Like, I just did a video about going broke on 200K.
Yeah.
If people made 200K, they only had a disposable income or freedom dollars of $5,000. They have a financial health score of 4.
Yeah.
That is
$5,000 for a year. $5,000 for a year.
Can you imagine?
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. You work 365 days a year and you have $5,000 of margin.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that is frightening.
Yeah. People have to understand that real estate investing is not just investing in the real estate. It's investing in yourself. It's investing in the future. And it's investing, most importantly, in a plan.
Thank you.
A plan. It's a plan. But Mike, last time I checked, you and I got lucky.
Yes. Dude, you want that red button? That button hurts. Don't push that button.
Yeah. I should have said that last week while we were talking about the CDC too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
But guys, this is what Mike and I talk about with everybody that we help, everybody that we're looking at. I kid you not. I've been so busy. I hadn't talked to my sister about the channel. Hadn't talked to her at all. She actually put an offer in a house. She goes, hey, I want to run something past you real quick. I sent her a link and I said, hey, check this guy out. He's really good. And I forwarded the link for my channel. She goes, shut up. That's you. I was like, it is me. She goes,
he's still really good.
Yeah. And I go, he's still really good just because he's your brother. Like, give me a break. So she sends me a text the next day. She goes, I watched every single one, some of them twice, and I took a bunch of notes and I'm going to send them to you. And I'm like, sounds awesome. You're going to be on the show. But guys, this is what we're talking about. She was so excited. She had done the work of finding the property. She'd done the work of understanding the market. What she hadn't done yet is counting all these costs, what things are going to cost to remodel and get to that place. That's something certainly that we try and help out with. But she's starting from a place of having purchased the house that she lives in today. This isn't going to be her first purchase. And so she's taking care of her money. She's taking care of her expenses. Guys, I like to look at our financial well-being as this big, huge control dashboard. Most people just say, there's one lever, make more money, shove it up forward, make more money. Guys, that is only one thing. And quite frankly, Mike, I think you'd agree, one of the toughest things to control. That's one of the toughest levers, right?
Well, I want to be very clear on this aspect. If you are of the mindset where the only answer is I'm going to make more money, and that is so popular in Instagram, in YouTube, right? I'll just get a side hustle. I'll go get a second job, whatever it is. Yes, you can go make more money. And I'll even acknowledge it's highly possible you could, but I am here to tell you with certainty that unless you've taken the time to understand your monthly expenses and what you are trying to do, you're going to just spend more money. And I say that as somebody who went from making 40 grand out of college to making 100 grand by his 30th birthday. I spent it all. Yeah. I didn't change my behavior. I still had holes in my boat. Yeah. It doesn't matter. If you just focus on making more money without internally changing how you are consuming and saving and investing, you're just going to spend it. You'll have nicer shit. You'll have a nicer clothes and nicer food and eat at nicer restaurants with a nicer car. That doesn't help. You can go broke on $200K a year very easily.
One of the things that we always talk a lot about, and one of the reasons I actually watch the show with my son, and we absolutely talk about it, and I love it. Granted, he's 3, and so his grasp of it right now is limited, but he certainly does enjoy the big equipment. So, we talk about, you see that show like Gold Rush. Yeah. And those guys are like, how much more yardage can I move? How much more yardage can I move? I want to move more yardage. Yeah. That's great. And a lot of times they're talking about that, but the very next thing that they're doing is, okay, before we up our equipment, make this massive capital expenditure to be able to move more yardage, we need to know that we're catching every speck down low in the sluice box. We need to make sure that nothing is getting past us, that we're at 100% retention. And that's the same thing that we need to do with our finances. We need to make sure that we're not just focused on moving more dirt. We need to make sure that we're focused on capturing everything we possibly can. And guys, there is nothing wrong with it. No one's going to think that you join some cult because you start selling off some of your stuff, just so long as you're not giving it to some cult leader, of course. But selling off some of those things and getting out from underneath that debt, largely a lot of you have college debt. I get it. You're not going to get out from underneath that, but make a real effort to really understand what's the absolute best rate with low interest rates. What's the best rate I can get right that? And then literally go through every piece of debt that you own. A, can I get rid of this? B, can I lower the rate so my payment goes lower? And you will create dollars. That is just as powerful, if not more powerful of a lever than make more income. It is reduce my expenses, pulling down.
Yeah, it is a very simple equation. It is you earn, save, invest, repeat.
Yeah.
Too many people on social media want to talk about earn because it's sexy. You can throw the check up. I mean, how many goddamn checks have I seen that are wrong? Oh yeah, that they sent you this closing statement. Well, that doesn't tell me what you paid. It doesn't tell me the carrying costs. It doesn't tell me. I mean, people are lying up. They're just bad. Earn, save, invest, repeat.
Yeah. One of those things, Mike, it's actually funny that you said that because I heard that piece and I was talking with someone and I just said, I heard that something else, some of the content you did this week. And I was talking to somebody, kind of coaching them through something. And I just said, you. And so I looked when you do why, you earn, save, invest, repeat. That's yes, sir.
Sweet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice.
So that's what we're talking about. You do the work. You do the work and the math and all of those pieces. But what we're really talking about is you earn, save, invest, repeat. Yes, sir. Get on the yes, sir sandwich.
I
you
like
know?
that. There's a shirt coming now.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But that's the thing
Yes,
is
sir.
get on it. Like this is guys, this is so attainable. And if you're 18 to 24, and that's really the demographic I spend a lot of time with, or a vet or enlisted, guys, you have the opportunity to get this right. You, even if you've gotten it wrong so far, you are the one that has the best opportunity to get it right. Because you know what? When your lease renews, look for a less expensive place. You know what? Drop by mom's every once in a while a little bit more often and see if you can squeeze back in there for 12 months while you really make it bankable. The juice will be worth the squeeze. There's
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to do this all over again, let's just say I still went to college for the relationships and all of that. I graduated at 21 or 22. I could be financially free by 27 or 28 in the Silicon Valley, which is like, the first or second most expensive place on the planet.
That's right.
But unfortunately, I wasted my 20s. I started in my 30s. And because I let my lifestyle expand, it took me 15 freaking years. And, that's a long time. Not many people can hold on that long.
No.
But again, if you're 23 and you can get by on 3, 4, 5 grand a month,
Yeah.
dude, you could be financially free by 30 and make me look like an idiot. And I want to wish you well and hope you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm more than happy to pat somebody on the back and go, you did it better than me.
Exactly. It doesn't.
There's no shortage, right? There's no shortage for Mike and I. There's no shortage. There's
Your
nothing.
success
There's
does
no
not
shortage.
hurt me.
Exactly. We want people to be successful because, quite frankly, we could have one phone call a month and make more money doing that one phone call as consultants than we could doing all the things that we do on YouTube. It's just a fact.
No question.
Right? It's just a fact. We do this because we want to give back.
Yeah, I turned down all the 4 and 5 figure requests for consulting. I like that doesn't fill my cup. Sorry, doesn't move the needle. Stop talking to me. I don't want to talk to you.
We want to help people get on that property ladder. We want to make sure you do it in a safe and smart way. We want to make sure that if another pandemic happens, that you've got your stuff in line, in a row, make sure that you can survive it as best you possibly can. And you can only get that with experience. And so listen to all the experiences that Mike and I have lived through for over the last 20 years. And I promise you, you will find things in there that are absolute pearls that we won't be charging $5,000 for.
Absolutely. And again, folks, it's very simple. The path to financial freedom and legacy wealth starts with a better financial future. Let's start there.
Mike, we couldn't have ended up in a better spot. I really appreciate you making the time for everybody available. Have an awesome weekend. But before we disband, how can everybody find you?
Just look up One Rental at a Time. It should be pretty easy to find me on YouTube, IG, Amazon, Audible. And folks, don't forget Matt and his wife are having a little one here in a couple of days. So make sure to leave a comment below and wish both of them well.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. What's really fun is it couldn't have gone any other way. We closed on a new property this morning, and today is my wife's due date. So she was like, how's she feeling? I was like, she's feeling just fine. We're going to close.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
They were like all nervous. I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe you should in the bank. Maybe you should put some cut up, trash bags down just in case.
Dog pee pads.
They were all freaking out. I was like, guys, nothing to worry. It's all good. And my banker, who I'm so close with, she's just like, she's awesome. She's fine. It's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's good. So thanks, Mike, for the well wishes, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all of the content that we're putting out there, and make sure that you don't miss Mike's streaming session on Saturdays. They're a lot of fun to watch. I like to see some of the questions, like, should I buy a great deal? So I like those. I love those questions. And I just know that, that means that person didn't take Mike's course yet. So
there you go. Exactly.
It's kind of perfect. So Mike, thanks so much again. This is Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord, signing off for you guys. Make sure you click the link below because we've got some more stuff coming. Or if they don't get the link in here in time, make sure you watch the next piece of content that we're going to be putting up there. It's going to be for you, taking you guys through a whole bunch of the finance piece of this, because that seemingly is an ever moving part in today's market.
Love it.
So we appreciate everyone's time. Thanks again, Mike. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon, folks. Take care.
You got it.